Are you planning to relocate from your company, office, or house, whether across cities to another town or halfway around the country? You want a moving company you can depend on to get you there? Let me introduce you to Logistics Movers. We are here to help you every step of the way, from planning the move to unpacking the last box and settling into your office or home. We have the expertise, experience, and market understanding and offer fast, reliable, and professional transportation services in Ghana. Our main thrust is to successfully move your business, household items safely, on time, and hassle-free. You can call us on 0246 833 539 or 0244 342 465. You can also send us an email to info@logisticsmovers.com or check our website www.logisticsmovers.com. Why expose your company or household items to theft or damages when you are relocating if it's avoidable? Logistics Movers, we help you relocate.
95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
January 31st, 2026. Hello, good morning. And welcome to our live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries. To elect a flag bearer who will lead the party going to election 2028. A total of 211,849 delegates of the party between 7 a.m. this morning and 2 p.m. cast their ballot to select a candidate who will be the party's presidential candidates. 5 individuals: Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, Kennedy Ohine Japan, Brian Echampon, Kwabena Ejapon, and Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. These men are hoping to lead the NPP. At least one of them will do that by close of polls today. By 4 p.m. today, we will know who is going to lead the NPP. My name is Sami Uyafe, and this morning I'm here with Bernard Avle as we bring you the coverage of the NPP's presidential primary. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, Sami.
31st this year, 31st. Ababe Drew.
I didn't even know it would come so soon. It's still so early in the political cycle. I suspect this is the earliest any political party has held a primary within a 4-year term, and obviously these are not normal times for the New Patriotic Party. So as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. So this is a really interesting time. January 2026, barely a year into the Mahama administration, and a very interesting race. The build-up has been quite eventful, and now we are here.
Well, the General Secretary of the party announced in June last year that the primaries are going to be 35. We all thought, Charlie, it's a long, so far away, you know.
In fact, 2020 doesn't even look that far.
Yeah.
Although we feel like, Charlie, we want it to be a bit further. Let's have normal life. You know, usually we want to have a bit of a honeymoon as media people before the full-blown politics. I think the NDC announced yesterday that this year, December 19, is when they will start their political hostilities. You know, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully one day people will just have 3 months for politics. So a government comes to power, they are working, and then maybe 3 months into the final year, we all vote for, choose whoever wants to represent who. You know, because politics, elections take a lot of time, effort, attention. Even the NPP admits that there's a lot of attrition in elections. So I think one of the reasons why they wanted to do this early was they know that if they get on with it, they will be done with it quickly.
Yes, exactly.
All sides admit that the way we do politics it could be better. They just don't know how to do it.
And the internal elections are always dangerous than the external. I always tell people that internal election, no.
Yeah. So,
but your expectations?
No, I expect a very, I don't know. The build-up shows that it's going to be competitive.
Yes.
Clearly, nobody is resting on their house. You know, there's some primaries that we all know who's going to win. We just want to know the margin. I feel like this one, even though there is a favorite, I don't think anybody will wake up this morning and say, well, we know who's going to win. No, even though the favorite himself is very cautious, and the challenger is quite confident. And I think the challengers, at least two of the challengers, seem very, very confident. So it's going to be very eventful, hopefully peaceful and orderly. I feel we've been voting in this manner since 1993 or 92, so we should get better at it. Go and vote, go home, wait for the announcement. Whoever wins, hooray. Whoever loses, let's support and move on. So basically, that's what I'm expecting.
97.3 Citi FM, our live coverage of the NPP presidential primary. In a short while, we'll go to the various voting centers across the country. We are covering these elections across the country. Speak to our reporters who are gathered across the country to tell us the voting process, how it started. The party says at 7 a.m. voting will start. We'll visit the various voting centers across the country, speak to our reporters and know the situation on the ground. We are told that a total of 277 voting centers across the country has been set up by the party, including the party headquarters. Shortly, we'll take you to the party headquarters and the various voting centers across the country to find out if voting has started and how security, because we are told by the IGP that at least 70 police personnel will be at the various voting centers to ensure that there's adequate security to forestall any casualty or anything that may happen at these voting centers. The NPP, as a political party, this week also issued a statement cautioning national security not to deploy any personnel to the voting centers, because to them, the police administration is the only arm that has been mandated by the party to ensure that there's adequate security at the various voting centers. So we'll find out from our reporters who are on the ground to find out if indeed the process has started security-wise, and what the party promise is going to take place is what is taking place.
So, Sami, I think that's a very important point. I think when we saw the IGP at the Peace Pact, it was very clear, and I was quite heartened to see the IGP and his men very clear, very determined, cooperating with the NPP. I think this is what we want to see. I think the EC has also shown they are very ready and prepared. We want institutions to work, and state-mandated institutions should not only serve the interest of a government or a governing party. So we are all watching very closely what the security situation would be. And for now, I mean, I watched the IGP, and then I think Jude Duncan spoke to him again after the program. He's very clear in his mind, their mandate. So that's very good to know. Now, you said there were 277 polling centers.
Yes.
That means that it's the 276 constituencies plus one.
Yes.
If you have 200, how many? I just wanted to calculate the average number of people who vote per polling center to see if the 2 o'clock will be realistic. So you have 211,000.
So the total the party gave, as at yesterday, was 211,849.
Okay, so if those are voting in 277 centers, that means an average of 764 voters per polling center.
Yeah.
I think that's manageable. That's manageable within the time, because this is usually, we hope there are no issues with albums and that kind of thing. I think that we've even been giving the categories of people
persons,
who are voting.
Yes.
It's been well publicized. So I think there's no controversy here. There should be no issue around, hey, I'm supposed to vote, I'm not supposed to vote. I feel there were just a few issues. I remember a few former aspirants thought they were to vote in this election.
Yes.
And I think you made the correction that they are voting in subsequent elections. But apart from that, everything is clear. So maybe you want to go around and see. I see Hansen Ajiman is already speaking at the party headquarters. I think that's one of the polling centers to some of the officials.
So we are told that for the party headquarters, it will be for, let's say, the former presidents, members, the national executive, and then a number of people who voted. But let's start from the Ablekuma South constituency.
Wonderful.
And speak to Sheba Araba Benin, who is there as we speak. Sheba, good morning. If you can hear me, thank you very much for your time. The party says voting will start 7 a.m. Has voting started yet?
Thank you very much, Sami. I'm currently here at the Ablikuma South constituency, precisely the Kolebu police station where voting is expected to take place. It's currently 7:11 a.m. according to my watch, but voting is yet to commence. I spoke earlier to the district officer who makes me understand that on their part they are ready, but the security wants to make a few checks before they can allow voting to start.
And security, the IGP told us that over 70 police personnel will be at every voting center. Do you see the number of police personnel there?
Yes, I can see the number of police personnel here. As to whether they are exactly 70, that I cannot say, but they should be around 30 or to 40. I spoke to the commander in charge here, and he says that his men are around and they are ready to take action if anything should happen now.
Have you seen delegates of the NPP already line up to vote?
Yes, there are some delegates who are lined up at the moment, and I spoke to a few of them. Some were here as early as, even some were here by 5:30. They are very much excited and ready to vote for their candidates. So the polling station here has been split into two centers, the Center 1 and the Center 2. So the delegates have all been briefed as to where they are supposed to vote in order to prevent any misunderstanding or confusion among the delegates.
Sheba, thank you very much for your time. Sheba Araba Beni from the Ablikuma South constituencies, with specifically the Kolebu police station, where voting.
Choko areas, Ablikuma South, formerly part of Ablikuma West before it was split.
Okay.
The MP is the former mayor of Accra, the Honorable Okuvanda-Poy.
Okay.
Very interesting constituency for Sheba to be at. So that's Ablikuma South.
And she says already, as people are, the delegates are ready.
Yeah, it's a family affair. So usually in these kind of elections, they will finish voting very early.
Yeah.
Because most of them know each other. They come early, so it's not like even agents will not be. It's not like different political parties where you are challenging this one. The only issue is if there was a controversy with the album, but I feel that because the current executives have been maintained, the album hasn't changed that much.
Yes.
So it's going to be very straightforward, maybe just one or two places. So if people have already queued before 7, it means that when they start voting, the process will be very quick. Hopefully by 12:31, who knows, voting has ended. They'll just be waiting to count.
97.3 Citi FM, our live coverage of the NPP presidential primary. Just a while ago, we got a report from the Ablikuma South constituency, the Kolebu police station. Voting is yet to start. So, Ben, we have some figures here as to the number of delegates in various regions.
Very good. Let's have that.
So, for instance, in the Ahafo region per se, the NPP says a total of 4,338 delegates are expected to vote in the Ahafo region. And then in the Ashanti region, the NPP says a total of 36,626 delegates of the party are expected to vote.
Wow.
In the Bono region, the party says a total of 7,871 delegates are expected to cast their ballot.
All right.
In the Bono East region, the party says 780.
No.
In the Bono East, the Bono East region, the party says 7,840 delegates.
Okay.
In the Central region, the NPP says 18,718 delegates are expected to vote.
Okay.
And then in the Eastern region, 21,843 delegates.
Okay.
In the Greater Accra region, which I think is the biggest, it says 40,165 delegates are expected to cast their ballot. In the Oti region, the party says 5,495 delegates will be voting.
Okay.
In the Northern region, 12,206 delegates of the party will be voting in that region. In Northeast, 3,654 delegates are expected to vote. In the Savannah region, 4,155.
Okay.
In the Upper East region, 8,588. In the Upper West region, 6,000 876 delegates. In the Volta region, 12,589 delegates of the NPP will be voting this morning or from now till 2 p.m.
Wonderful.
And then the Western region, 14,132 delegates will be voting. In Northeast,
Western North.
Western North. It says 6,429 delegates. And then the party headquarters, which is one of the voting centers, the party says a total of 153 delegates will be voting there. And then remember the party's diaspora and those branches. They said a total of 824 delegates are expected. That's if you want to come down and come and vote. They're expecting a total of 824.
So they won't vote and send their ballot.
No,
you have to come down.
You have to come down and vote because the party wanted to bring the proxy, but then it was rejected.
So these diasporans can only vote when they are in Ghana.
Yes, they can only vote when they are here in Ghana.
So headquarters is just 153.
Yes,
I see.
that's where the party's figures totaling 211,849 delegates of the NPP who will be voting this morning to the afternoon. And maybe look at least the Ashanti region carries the highest number.
No, the Greater Accra region.
The Greater Accra.
40,165.
Yeah.
That's about 3,000 more than Ashanti.
The Ashanti region.
I'm just calculating a few things. The third biggest region, based on the numbers you gave us, will be the Eastern region. That's 21,843.
Yes.
So as MPP's big strongholds, Eastern and Ashanti together, that's about 58,000 voters. So if you add Greater Accra, Ashanti and Eastern, that's about 100,000. Yeah. So if basically what I'm saying is that Ashanti is 36K, Eastern is 21, so that's 58. If you add Greater Accra, you are getting close to 100,000. So I'm saying that Greater Accra, Ashanti and Eastern together, it's about half of the delegates. So you need to keep an eye on
these ones.
Greater Accra, Eastern and Ashanti together, about half of the delegates, because of course there is maybe about 45% delegates. Very interesting indeed. And then the other interesting number I see in trying to think through old regions, Bono and Bono East, very similar, so 14,000, almost 15,000 together. If you add a half to Bono and Bono East, that's almost 20,000 voters. So it's close to Eastern, right? So the three former Bono regions, very big. If you add Western and Western North as well, about another 20,000, right? The northern regions, if you add northern, northeast, and Savannah, that's 12 plus another 8, 20,000. So a lot of the old regions are about 20,000. Western region 20,000, that's old. Bono region 20,000. Northern region, the old one, 20,000. Volta and Oti together about 19,000. So all very similar. Central region as well, 18,000. And then of course you have the North, Upper East and Upper West together being about 15,000. So very interesting breakdown there in terms of the numbers.
So now I ask you to hold on. Let's go back to the phone line and speak to Kennedy Chumesi. He's within the Ablekuma enclave. So this time around, the Ablekuma Central constituency. Chumesi, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Samuel. So I'm coming to you live from the local police station in the Ablekuma Central constituency, where the NPP is holding its presidential primary today. So far, the process has been largely peaceful and orderly. Delegates began arriving as early as 6 a.m. and voting is currently ongoing. It started exactly at 7 a.m. Security presence is visible and with officers deployed to ensure law and order. Party officials are also supervising the process. There's been no issues so far. I spoke to the EC a while ago, and he tells me that everything is in order. There'll be no minor concerns about logistics, about late arrival of materials. There's been absolutely nothing, and everything is moving on smoothly.
Have you been told the number of delegates who are supposed to vote in that particular area where you are?
Yes, we are expecting 1,556 delegates to cast their ballot today. The atmosphere here is calm, but charged with anticipation. For most of the delegates that have had personal interaction with, they are upbeat. There's a strong sense, particularly there's a strong sense of excitement about the decision that we making today. All of them are hoping that the best candidate wins and unity is champion to win the 2020 election.
Kennedy, thank you very much for your time. Kennedy Chumesi at the Ablekuma Central Constituency, specifically the Odoko Police Station, bringing us up to speed on voting. He said voting has started already. Members of the NPP delegates are in queue casting their ballot for their favorite candidate. From Chumesi, let's go to the YMC where Charles Owusu Kumi, our colleague here at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, is also monitoring election there. Charles, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Sammy. Election day for the NPP, big day for the party. Here at YMCA, which is the voting center for the Kolik constituency, they've set up 2 polling stations. We're expecting about 1,183 voters to vote here in this particular election. At my last count, about 34 people have already voted. So the setup here is quite complex, but it's simple in a way. The police have mounted barricades at the very entrance of YMCA, and then when you're allowed inside, the voters themselves, they have set up a certain barricade for about 100 meters away from the polling stations. And so because they don't want the place to be crowded, and so you check with the AC official who will check for your accreditation and all of that before you're allowed even into the inner perimeter. It's a very serene environment here. Everything has been calm, normal. And remember the IGP said that they were going to provide adequate security, count a number of police officers stationed at various points of entry into the YMCA compound. And we've not had any issues yet. Hopefully, we don't have any issues. But what I can report to you, Sammy, this morning is that voting has begun and the process has been smooth so far.
Charles, thank you very much for your time. Charles Osukumi, reporting from the Klolik constituency, specific the YMCA, where that's in Adabraka.
Yeah. So Kennedy was from Ablekuma Central,
yes,
which includes Mataheko, Abosiokai, but they are voting at the
Odoko Police
Station. So that's those of you who know the Kanishi area. Opposite the road is Ablekuma. That's Okaiko South.
Yes.
Opposite to Ablekuma Central. So they are in the same area. Yeah. So they are in the same area.
That's the Citi 97.3 FM, our live coverage of the NPP presidential primary, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Over 211,000 delegates of the party will choose a leader who will lead the party going to election 2028. So far, I brought a report from the Ablekuma South constituency, the Ablekuma Central constituency, and the Klolik constituency, all here in the Greater Accra region. In a short while, we'll go to the regions. The Ashanti region, the Eastern region, the Bono region, the Bono East region, to get updates from our reporters. Let's go to the party headquarters. The headquarters of the New Patriotic Party. We're told that it's also a voting center. Our colleague Hansen Ajiman is at the NPP headquarters to bring us updates on the situation. Hansen, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. Voting started already at the party headquarters?
Yes, voting has started. Over 20 persons per my count have voted already here at the NPP headquarters. 2 sets of persons voting here. The delegates from the diaspora, over about 824 of them, and then national executives, former executives, the top hierarchy of the party, patrons, directors. They also make up another set, about 153 of them. That gives you over 900 of these voters who are voting here at the NPP headquarters. So far, voting is ongoing well. A number of them have come to vote. There's a checklist of the voters delegate list at the frontage of the NPP headquarters, where delegates are expected to confirm their details before they get into the premises itself, before they cast their ballot. Already a tent and a stage has been set up to pave way for later this afternoon, when the elections are supposed to be declared and the speech from the winner will be taken. And what we've heard from the Director of Elections and Research for the NPP, Evans Nemakon, is that the collation of the results would be done at the EC headquarters, and then the EC will bring the results to the NPP headquarters for declaration. And so, I can't say that things are going smoothly. There's adequate police personnel here. The visibility of the police is high. Delegates at the moment are in queue, cross-checking their details and affirming their details from the delegate list, and then they will then make their way to the party premises of the headquarters, where they will then cast their ballots.
Have you seen any of the prominent, figures within the NPP coming to vote? Let's say the former president, any of the former presidents?
So far, none of them, I must say. Is a host of directors. Evans Nimakon, as I indicated, he's here, he's voted, and some executives of the party from their diaspora branches are also here. Some patrons and some council of elders, members of the council of elders, they are here. But to talk about the former president or to talk about former ministers who have made their way to the NPP headquarters, they are yet to do so.
Hansen, this is Bernard. So you mentioned that the voters at the party headquarters comprise the former executives, national executives on one hand, and then the diaspora.
Come again, Bernard.
Now, do we know how many diasporans have indicated that they will come and vote? Because they are not in the country, right? So even though there are about 824 on the register, do we know as of today how many diasporans have indicated that they will come, or that will not be known?
That we won't be able to know. However, I spoke with the organizer of the NPP in Canada, and he says that there are 47 in all with respect to delegates in Canada. However, it's only 26 of them who've made their way to Ghana to participate. I don't think that the story may be any different from the other branches. Again, I say so because the party previously used to have a proxy system where if you are not able to vote or not able to make it in person, you can elect for someone to vote for you. But that actually has been scrapped by the elections committee due to concerns raised by some camps. And we've seen and heard the comments that some of the delegates within the various diaspora branches have made about the difficulty in securing a visa. One, apart from the monetary expenses, you would also have to make arrangements for leave from your workplaces, and for some of them it is too early perhaps in the year to get that leave or even take that leave. And so the comments made by the Canada branch organizer is that a number of them have not been able to make it because of this particular
which means that we are expecting not all the 800, definitely maybe about half of that list. That's fine. The other question I wanted to ask was, are you able to identify if there are any agents? So there are 5 candidates, right? Do they have their agents, and is it clear who an agent is when you go there? Because when we are doing normal national elections, you will see the NDC guy, see the NPP guy, see the CPP guy. Is it clear to you whose agent is there, or you haven't seen any at all?
Yes, so there are agents at the start of the or before elections started. You would have to secure the ballot box with the seals of each of the candidates, and we saw a number of them securing the seal. And so the delegates are here. They are seated close to the electoral officers who are giving out the ballot papers to the various candidates. It's just that we are not allowed to go close to them. They've demarcated the area, and there's a restriction as to where journalists and outsiders can actually get to. But I can see that there are agents of these candidates who are seated and observing the voting process keenly.
Finally, so where you are observing voting is the same place that the party will officially outdoor the winner, correct?
Yes, that is what we've been told, and from what I've seen, as I've indicated, already a stage has been mounted with a podium, and so I believe that this is has been readied for later this afternoon when declaration is to be done and the speech of the winner. You
have a long day between Wachi and Kinky. Which one should we bring you?
I think Kinky will do.
You want Kinky? Okay, I hear you. We are having a mini ballot here, and it looks like Wachi is winning in the studio. But since you want Kinky, I hope Samens is listening. Sammy, you should have asked. Tali, thank you, Hansen. Sammy, you should have asked Kennedy and Shiba whether they want Wachi or Kinky.
I'm sure now comment the rest will ask them
because he says he wants Kinky.
Hassan Ajima, our colleague reporting from the NPP headquarters. Over 800 people are expected to vote from that side. Citi 97.3 FM live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries. We've been to the Blekuma Central constituency, we've been to the Blekuma South constituency, and we've been to the YMCA, the Klole Kote constituency. Just a while ago, Hansen Ajima brought us a report from the NPP headquarters. We'll go to the regions shortly.
And NPP, their headquarters is in Klote Kole. You know this,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So
yes,
NPP head office where he spoke from is in Asylum Down, which is also Klote Kole. And NDC head office is at Dabraka. So Klote Kole, where Citi FM is located, we are the local radio station for both NPP and NDC. So if you are listening to us from the party head office, make sure your radio is on 97.3 Citi FM from both parties, because if there's anything in your radio your office, we are the first radio station to announce it. If there's any issue that you need, we are your local media house. So NDC and NPP, please be minded. In fact, CPP used to have their headquarters in our constituency as well. Just so, Charlie, we are the political... We are the radio station for the parties.
Well, let's go to the northern region, to the Tamale Central constituency to be precise, and speak to Shawana Yusuf, our bureau chief for the northern region. Good morning. Thank you very much for your time. What can you tell us from the Tamale Central constituency?
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning to our cherished listeners. I'm currently located at the Tamale Central Center. Well, that's where the voting is taking place at the Jubilee Park here in Tamale. Voting started at exactly 7:16 a.m. and with the former mayor of Tamale, Sule Salifu, being the first to cast his vote. As it stands, a total of 20 people, currently as I speak, the 20th person is in the booth trying to cast his ballot. And there are a lot of people standing in queues, trying to take their turn to cast their ballot in today's primaries.
And the IGP spoke about security and the rest. Have you seen the security set up in this area that you are?
Yes, I have. So fortunately, the Jubilee Park and the police station headquarters is not far. So when we came here as early as 6:30 this morning, this was the venue where all the security personnel were deployed to other voting centers. Currently at the Tamale Central Voting Center, which is at the Jubilee Park, you can see over 30 police officers around trying to provide security for the process. And so far, I must say, it's been peaceful, it's been smooth, and there hasn't been any issues currently as we speak.
Shawana, this is Bernard. So you said voting started at 7:16. Do you know
7:16,
how many people are expected to vote at Tamale Central today?
Yes, Bernard. So at Tamale Central, per the register, there are 922 people expected to vote. But of the number, 18 are deceased. So currently, we are expecting a total of 904 people to vote by close of day.
Good. So I was asking because if you look at the pace of voting, the way the process works, is it moving that quickly so that by 2 o'clock you think that everybody would have voted?
And smooth.
Very smooth.
It's quick and smooth.
It's quick and smooth. Wonderful.
Yes. It's quick and smooth. Currently, there's been some misunderstanding between the agents and then the EC officials. But as to what exactly it is, we are yet to actually find out what it is. There is a problem here at Tamale Central.
So maybe you want to observe and then report back what you see. Or you want to move closer?
I understand there is an agent who has threatened to beat somebody.
Hey, already?
Which agent is that? Edichum's agent, one of Edichum's agents is threatening to beat a delegate from what we take right now.
So you pay attention and keep reporting. We are watching you live on television as well.
Sure, I will do that.
Shawana is in the Tamale Central constituency. Voting started smoothly at 7:16, Sammy. And apparently about 20 people have voted. It's going well, but there seems to be a little of an altercation, which is covering for us. It's 7:40, 97.3 Citi FM, bringing you round-the-clock coverage of the NPP primaries happening. Voting started at 7, supposed to end at 2 p.m. And we have 277 polling centers in 276 constituencies. We are bringing live pictures to our viewers on Channel 1 television. I'm sure if you're watching us on YouTube as well, we'll show you some of those highlights. It's really more like an argument. It doesn't seem to have gotten to any serious levels yet. And to be fair, in elections, these things are very normal. Usually somebody will talk, argue a bit up and down. EC official will call them to a corner, they will speak, and they'll come back. Hopefully, this is resolved quickly. We can see clearly EC officials who are wearing their EC tops. The police are also there. A lot of people are wearing tags. So clearly, this is well set out. Just like a few people are under the canopy, which I don't know why. Usually you have one or two per person. It looks like some agents have sort of moved closer to the voting center. EC officials are still very calm from what we see from this. And you notice a lot of these polling centers, they pick places where there's a big compound.
Yes.
So it's either a police station, a school, or a church. Yeah. So there's a huge compound, and you see police have barricaded the place nicely, very clearly with their barriers, with police. So as Shawan and the others were saying, if you don't have any business going to the inner perimeter, you will not go. And a lot of the media, because of our cameras, will be given a specific place where we can zoom in to show what's happening as well. So this is Tamale Central, which is really the heart of Tamale. And Shawana Yusuf reporting from there of an incident. But it seems as if the voting has stopped because of this argument. Sami, it looks like the voting has stopped.
It looks like it's argument between agents. I believe it's agents because.
But I'm not sure the agents are also well branded because you can't wear campaign material during voting. Yes. So maybe it will be their tag.
You only have a tag with the agent, with the agent description.
I think Shawana has more information for us. So Shawana, if you can hear us, we'll be coming back to you. There's actually a couple of police vans there as well. So it seems as if the police are, and from what I've seen, there are a lot of police. There are a lot of police. I mean, because it's just an internal election, so they won't be stretched as much as a national election. So there should be enough police to cover the whole process. Somebody just voted as well, so it looks like the voting is... No, actually, this is a picture from 5 minutes ago. This guy voted 5 minutes ago. They are rolling it again. And by the way, if you're watching, you can send us your own comments and your views as you listen. 053-998-6996, our WhatsApp number. Sami Hafiz, your host, I'm here with him, supporting him. We'll be crossing to other regions shortly because voting has started in other regions as well. We've just started from the north. We've done a few Greater Accra. We'll move to Ashanti, Volta, and Western, and also Eastern, Central, and the Bono regions, all within the first hour of the show. We are live from now till 9 to see how things are going, Sami.
Citi 97.3 FM, live coverage of the NPP presidential primary. In a short time, we'll go to the central region, specifically the Asin Central constituency, the base of Kennedy Ohine Japan, one of the NPP presidential aspirants, or one of the main contenders, you want to put it that way. Let's speak to Akwesi Ado, who is in the Asin Central constituency in the central region. Akwesi, thank you very much for your time. What can you tell us?
Okay,
voting started, the process smooth.
For having me. So this is the central region, and then we have a total of 18,000 plus voters expected to take part in voting today. Here in the Asin Central constituency, the home constituency of the Honorable Kennedy Ohine Japan, one of the main contenders of these elections, we're expecting about 548 delegates to take part in voting today. In the central region, voting is happening in all 23 constituencies. The Autisenya East constituency, which is Kaswa, has the larger number of expected delegates, that is 1,585. Here at the Centenary Hall in Asin Fosu, voting has already begun. We have a number of delegates who have already done voting. The place is very calm. The police have deployed over 120 men to ensure that the sanctity of this process is strictly upheld to, and so we can be assured that we're going to have a very safe and sound atmosphere so far as this election is concerned. So I've just gotten wind that the Honorable Kennedy Ohine Japan has just arrived at the venue and is yet to enter into the inner perimeter.
And I'm told that's where he's voting, right?
Exactly.
So is it fair to say Asin Central is a Kennedy Japan stronghold still? Is it a place that is very popular?
Undoubtedly, Kennedy remains a very popular figure here in the Asin Central constituency, or even in the Asin area. We know the Asin area has 3 constituencies: Asin South, Asin Central, and then Asin North. In the previous elections, in fact, it did manifest that the people really like him because the number of votes he attracted was quite huge compared to that of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And so, just as I mentioned earlier on, the Honorable Member Kennedy Ohine Japan has just arrived in the inner perimeter. I've seen him flashing his Ghana card, signifying that would be the basis of identification for him to take part in the voting.
Hopefully, when he's done voting, you'll find a way of talking to him, I'm sure, because he's a big figure there. So, but by the way, how's the process going so far? And from the way it's going, is there any challenge?
So far, the process has been smooth. There hasn't been any challenge here since voting began at exactly 7 a.m. And speaking to the EC officials, they have assured that should things remain same, it means that we may even be done voting before the scheduled period, which is around 2 this afternoon.
But they'll definitely wait till 2 before they open the ballot. So they will definitely wait. So 2 o'clock is when polling ends. Yes. So keep an eye on the situation. If Kennedy is done voting and would say a few words to you, we'll be happy to hear from him or later on. Ben. But thank you for your work. That was Akwesi Ado, our central correspondent. So Kennedy's already there. Quick. Quick. He wants to vote so I can move. I'm sure if you move to Wale, I think Dr. Bami are voting Wale.
No, at the party headquarters.
Oh, he's
voting at the party headquarters.
Okay, he hasn't sent his vote there.
We are told he's voting at the party headquarters.
But in the main election, he voted in Wale.
He voted in Wale constituency.
Wonderful. Where is Brian Champon voting? Do we know?
In his constituency. He will vote in the BTV constituency.
And then where would
Dr. vote with his constituency, which is Bosonche.
And where is Kwame Japan voting?
Kwame Japan, we are told he's also voting at the party headquarters.
Yes,
because of his position as a former general secretary.
Wonderful.
He qualifies to vote at the party headquarters.
So Kennedy Japan has, I think, is the first of the 5 to vote. Yes, at least from what we've heard. 747, he's already there.
We are told after voting, he's driving straight to Accra to his strong room. They've set up a strong room at East Legon,
monitor,
where they also monitor the results as and when they come in.
Wonderful.
A reporter will be there to give us an update on how their monitoring is also going, as well as all the other.
So all 5 candidates have their monitoring centers.
Yes,
so they would have to do a bit of traveling. Because all their monitoring centers are in Accra. So you vote, you move a few rounds, and you come in.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Citi 97.3 FM, our live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We've been to the Blekuma Central constituency. We've been to the Blekuma South constituency. We've been to the Klole Kote. We've been to the Northern region, specifically the Tamale Central constituency. And just a while ago, we're in the Asin Central constituency, where Central Regional Correspondent Akwesiado gave us an update and told us that indeed Kennedy Ohene Japan, one of the lead contenders in the NPP presidential primaries, was about to cast his ballot. He will try and speak to him and get his views and thought on how the process has been so far and how the party has managed the situation as far as security is also concerned. And we'll bring you an update on the situation. If you're watching Channel 1 television now, the Member of Parliament for the Fia constituency, Isaac Buamanyak, who is a member of the National Elections Committee, is speaking to Western Regional Bureau Chief Akwesi Enim on preparations so far. He's a delegate because he's a member of Parliament and he's also a member of the Elections Planning Committee. And so he's giving updates on how the process has been, the management of this election from day one till now, the meetings they've held with the various aspirants, and how the aspirants are hoping to indeed accept the outcome of the result after the declaration by the Electoral Commission. You know, Bernard, the issue that have come up, you know, for many people is that will the result be acceptable by all? You know,
obviously,
from the issues they've raised, you know, whether the aspirants themselves, some of them will accept the outcome of the results as will be declared by Electoral Commission later in the day. And
of course, that depends a lot on how the voting goes and the reports. So some of our reporting and other media house reporting and some of what the candidates themselves will hear will go a long way to determine how that works. So I feel like it's more about what happens. And so if the process continues as smoothly as it goes, if people who are supposed to vote, if the counting goes open and the numbers are all clear, you shouldn't foresee any problem. Usually it's what gets thrown out and what happens which people do not plan for, which leads to these doubts. So we still have a long way to go. It's only 7:50. So
well, Bernard, I think yesterday we spoke to a member of the Elections Planning Committee on how this whole process will go. But before that, before we hear that, he said, let's go onto the phone line and speak to Ejubi Wiafia Kenten. She is in the Dome Kwabenya constituency here in the Greater Accra region, one of the biggest constituencies here in the country. Ejubi, thank you very much for your time. Voting started already?
Yes, voting has started already here at the Dome Kwabenya constituency. I'm currently at the Atomic Park A and B polling stations here, and the voting process began at 7:05, and according to the EC officials, 1,815 delegates are expected to vote at this center. So you can hear that there's an argument here in the background, and that is because for the Dome Kwabenya constituency, you know that the largest people are here in their numbers. However, the delegates are not agreeing with the movement or the push at which the queue is going. That is the complaints that they are raising. I have a lady here who is also a delegate in the queue, and she's frustrated with the way the process is going. Madam, what is your consent estimate?
We have two lines, and the line Bokobi has shown. We have made two lines, but some people didn't ask, and they went to join a different line, and we have been in the queue. And they want to just come and join the queue. And we are asking them to go and join from the back. And they don't want to agree. So that is the problem. Yeah.
But are the EC officials here doing anything to resolve this complaint that you guys are raising?
And the police people are saying something about it. But what we are telling them is that we have two lines. Yeah. So this line and the other line. So since you have come and joined the queue, you should have asked. You didn't ask. Then go and join the queue. And they want to vote before us. At least 2 people is okay. You get it. That's about 5 people. We are also going somewhere.
So, Tommy, you heard from him. He's raising concerns about the way the operations here are going. Officials and the police are collaborating to also resolve the concerns that the delegates have over here. But we have hundreds of delegates still queuing. They actually came here very early. And with the pace queues are moving, some of these concerns are going to persist. But the police are also enforcing security measures in the community just across the street of the Atomic Park and they are making efforts to ensure that the process is being run smoothly.
Ajubi, thank you very much for your time. Ajubi Wiafia Kente reporting live from the Dom Kwabinya constituency here in the Greater Accra region. A total of 1,800 delegates will be voting in that constituency. But quite a huge number.
Very big number of people, and also a controversial constituency for all reasons. Tarajua Safo's constituency, and her own relationship with Kennedy Japan and her own comments, and then you could hear the issues. But these are early days yet. So I don't know why they don't have two for 1,816. Maybe they could have had two ballot boxes, but I feel like you should still be able to get all the people to vote if the process, because the process is not like one person per minute, because while somebody is voting, another person is checking. So it's like 4 or 5 people can vote within a minute. So it should go very, very fast. So hopefully when things calm down, they can quickly go through and finish before 2 o'clock.
But let's go to the Bimbilla constituency, where we understand that agents of Brian Echampon and Kennedy Ohine Japan are raising concerns regarding voting arrangements in that constituency. They say that there is a plan to determine the voting pattern of delegates. The arrangement, they say, is that the people from the Bimbilla constituency are separated from others who are coming from other towns within them. So our correspondent there, Alabria, has been speaking to some of these delegates and then the agents of Brian Champo and Kennedy Ohine Japan on this matter, and after we'll hear from him.
We are not happy about the arrangement because they have splitted it into A and B. And to my understanding, the A, those who were voting here are those in Bimbilla town. They were voting here. And then I learned the other communities were voting at the other center. My understanding of this issue is that there can be a political intimidation. They want to know which people will vote for my candidate and which people will not vote for my candidate. That is my understanding. And in politics or voting, it's not allowed. So you can't do this to know A has voted for this and B has voted for this.
So,
no place with
so what do you want to be done?
Already voting has started. But what we want is that during the sorting, they should bind everything. They should combine all the ballot boxes A and B together before they do the sorting. That is what we want. Other than that, we won't understand.
Okay. The concern here is that they've separated the polling station, voting centers into two. One for Bimbilla, mostly Bimbilla, those around Bimbilla, and those from the far.
Okay.
But the concern here is that maybe it could be a plan to know the number of people around the Bimbilla township who voted for this candidate, and the other side who voted for the other candidate.
Okay.
So for me, I think that we should combine all the boxes to one center, so that in the end, no one can know that people voted for this.
Maybe this is done to hasten or to fasten the place. You know, the delegates here are too many. So if they don't separate it that way, the voting ends at 2 o'clock. So if they don't do it that way, maybe time will beat them. That is why they have done the separation.
They have done the separation, and they can still be two tearing papers for voters, but the ballot boxes should be at one place.
Okay.
So no one can determine this is for what Bimbilla constituency or villages around Bimbilla.
You know, the division we've had this morning.
Yes.
Originally, this place is a single polling station, just one polling station. But for the purposes of facilitating the voting process, we've decided to divide the center. And it is done without prejudice to anything at all. You know, Boduyule, Bakbaba, Duni, Lanja, they are far away, but they are part of the A group here. And so at the end of the day, we are not going to separate the county. It will all be put together and the counting will be done. Okay. So we are ensuring the secrecy of the ballot to the latter. We are not going to compromise anything. You know, each C has brought about what you call a complex ID numbers for the ballots. Okay. We don't follow the serial order. So sometimes you come, we give you ballot number 25. The one following takes ballot number 2, and so on. So at the end of the day, you will not be able to tell who voted for who and that. So they should be calm. There's no way we're going to undermine this process.
You had a Bimbilla EC official, Joseph Kodia, explaining what really happened at the Bimbilla constituency as far as the voting is concerned. Let's go to the phone line and speak to Mohammed Alabira, our correspondent there, on why this confusion. It's not really a confusion, if you ask me. It's just a misunderstanding. Mohammed, thank you very much for your time. Have this matter been resolved? Voting, is continuing?
Yes, thank you so much. Currently, as the electoral officer offered the explanation to them, I think for now they have understood him and voting is currently ongoing smoothly.
And how's the process so far?
Yeah, so far the process is very smooth. Security is present here and everything is going on here. It's just currently that the EC themselves are raising some issues right now. What is happening is that the agents are just on them. They are just standing right behind the EC officials. So they are saying that no, if they don't get placed to sit, they will not continue the voting again. So currently, that is what is happening at the center here right now.
So what? The voting has ceased?
Yeah, currently the voting has been stopped for a while because the EC officials are saying that no, if the agents do not find seats and sit, they will not because the way they were standing on them, they will not continue the voting again. So currently, that is what is happening here at the Bimbilla Center.
Mohammed, thank you very much for your time. We'll come back to you for updates on the election so far in the Bimbilla constituency. Thank you very much. Mohammed M. Alabira, correspondent in the Northeast region. Specifically, he's within the Bimbilla constituency where voting is taking place. But really,
well, I was actually hoping that they would do more of that in other places where the queue was large. So, for example, Domi Kwabenya, where the lady was saying they had two queues. We don't know if they had done the same there officially. Because if you have a long list of people, it's just good to split the voters into two. So, I think the matter has been resolved. But you can sense the tension that the agents are not leaving any stone unturned. And you know how politics works, right? So when candidates notice potential trouble spots, they will make sure their agents are actually on point. Don't agree to anything that we haven't discussed, that type of thing. So hopefully as the process flows, people relax a bit more.
And I understand the sentiments of the agents there because the constituency is one which is led by Nito, the former, and he's publicly declared his support for one of the candidates. And so you expect the other candidates to be vigilant to ensure that rigging or anything doesn't take place there. In a short while, we bring an interview Kennedy Ohine Japan had with our correspondent in the Central region. After voting, he spoke to our correspondent Akwesi Ado on how the process has been so far and his expectation. In a short while, we'll bring you that particular interview. In the meantime, we'll continue with our coverage and we'll visit other regions as well. We'll go to the Eastern region. We've been to the Central region already. We'll go to the Eastern region, go to the Western region, and the Ashanti region. Our correspondents on the ground will bring us up to speed. But from the way voting is taking place, as we heard one of the agents say, or even one of the delegates, they should be done even before the 2 o'clock.
That's if these stop and starts in some of these other areas don't continue. Because for the places that voting is going on smoothly, you can tell that it's moving very fast. But because of some of the stoppages in a few of the places, maybe you will not have a uniform time for stopping. But you're right. It seems a very simple. Don't forget, Ghana, we voted a lot. And the way I see the voting process, you go with your ID, they check your name on the album, they take it. I don't know if they're even doing biometric verification. I don't know. But basically, when your name is taken, and because this is an internal election, most people know each other. So agents know the people, they go, you just look for your name, you take your ballot, you vote. And this is just one. It's not like you are voting presidential or parliamentary. So it's very, very quick. For even a presidential election where we vote for two different people, I went to the presidential in 2 minutes. So you can imagine that this is very short. So I don't see how this is going to cause any delay at all. And I think the party also advised people, when you finish voting, go home. And I'm hoping that they are adhering to this, because you don't want people messing up. It puts pressure on the officials. It doesn't really help. So I think the party officials were very clear. Cast your ballot, go home, and maybe listen to the radio, and we'll tell you who has won. Simple and short, right? So some of the pictures we're seeing, largely things are moving very well. There will obviously be places where people have misunderstandings, which is why our reporters are bringing us those reports. Kennedy Japan has been speaking to Akwesi Addo. It was quite an interesting interview. We'll bring the highlights shortly. And I'm also seeing that things are pretty peaceful and calm at YMCA, where our correspondent Charles Osu-Kumi was reporting from. We'll go back to him also later for some updates from there as well, Sammy.
Live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. In a short while, we'll go to the Western region and speak to our Western Regional Bureau Chief, Akwesi Eje Enimotori. He's on the telephone. Akwesi, thank you very much for your time. How's the process in the central and the Western region, especially where you are? Which constituency are you reporting from?
Well, Sammy, I'm currently located at the Efia Police Park, which is the police station for the Efia constituency. And over here, we are expecting no less than 501 delegates to actually come in today to cast their ballots in this NPP's presidential primary. And the exercise actually kicked off at exactly 7 a.m. Everything is being very orderly. We have no less than 50 police officers here providing security over here. And after 8 a.m., my last check, I'm told close to 70 people have actually cast their vote without any issue. And I just got the MP for Tia 2020, Honorable Isaac Wama, who just came to start with it. And here, I just want to find out from him his tips on the exercise. So for Honorable, welcome to Citi FM, and your take on the exercise so far. First of all, tell us, have you cast the vote?
Yes, I did. I did cast my vote at exactly 7:35.
And how was the exercise for you?
So far, so very good. It's going according to expectations. If you look at the way the committee worked tirelessly to put together this program, putting the responsibility of the elections on the hands of the Electoral Commission and the security in the hands of the police service, and looking at how it has commenced here in Ifia, and then believing what I'm hearing also across other parts of the region, I believe that at the end of 2 p.m., we should have one of the most successful, transparent, free, and fair elections held by the New Patriotic Party.
Let me take it from the two ways you use. The work of the good work that the committee has done, and then the expectation of a transparent exercise. We just getting some concerns by one of the candidates at Kennedy upon raising issues with the transportation of some of the ballot votes via a private vehicle. What do you make of it as a committee member who has worked so hard to make sure that this exercise is not disputed in any way when it comes to its conduct?
So we take serious view of the concerns raised by him. We have already indicated as part of the guidelines that any concern by any individual ought to be brought to the attention of the committee, and the committee will investigate. Because we left this exercise in the hands of the Electoral Commission, we couldn't have determined the way the ballot boxes were going to be transported. The biggest question we'll be asking is that did it affect the integrity of the ballot papers that were being transported? Because when you get to the polling center, all agents are supposed to be there. They are supposed to check the serial numbers of the ballot boxes that they had received. Remember, when the ballot and the materials come, the ballot papers, the agents of all the aspirants are supposed to receive them. They sign accordingly with the police. And it is the same ballot papers that you expect to receive them on the day of voting. And so at the time of commencement, I don't think the complaints that have come about transportation has translated into the actual ballot papers that are supposed to be used. And so if the integrity of the ballot papers have not been compromised, even though there was a challenge in terms of the transportation, then we will be more focused on the integrity of the process as in before the commencement and during the casting of the ballots. And so far, from all the reports we have received, including what you are telling us, there has not been any problem in terms of the attacking the integrity of the ballot process, including the ballot papers that are being used for the purpose of these elections.
But
committee that actually planned this election, is this the protocol that you agreed on with the EC when it comes to translation of ballot papers? As I said, the committee left the actual election process to the Electoral Commission, and we would have expected that the EC, in making provision for transportation, would even accord the aspirants some privileged information in terms of how they want to transport, if it is not going to be by their own means as an official vehicle. So if there is any lack of communication whatsoever, or trying to bring all the parties on board in terms of why they have a challenge with transportation and the reason why they want to go with a private means, all of that should be with the consent of the aspirants. So as you have received the information, we are going to interrogate it. We are noting all of those concerns. But the biggest interest of me as a committee member is about whether any of those comments or any of those concerns attacks the integrity of the voting process, which as we speak now, there has not been any indication to that effect.
Well, so that is the situation here from a police part in the Efia constituency policies where 501 people are casting their vote today. And on the issue of, pleasure upon this, what a committee member of the election, Honorable Isaac Wama, they're saying that they don't think it's going to affect the process, but they will still be asking questions from the EC as to how this voting is made.
Apart from the FIA constituency, what other reports are you getting from the other constituencies?
Well, my checks with the other constituencies, especially with the 5 constituencies within the Technical Academy Support Assembly, the Takrade, Sekendi, Eshikari and Kosmin team, we haven't recorded any issues. I think what we are being told that what we are experiencing here is basically the same for all of them. It's been a smooth exercise so far. But we'll be moving from one police station to the other very soon.
Kwasi, thank you very much for your time. Akwesi Ejenim, our Western Regional Bureau Chief, bringing us up to speed on voting in the Western region. He is currently in the Efia constituency. Spoke to the Member of Parliament for the area. Let's bring you that interview Kennedy Ohine Japan had with our reporter Akwesi Ado after voting in the Asin Central constituency of the Central region.
I think there will be repetition of what happened in 2023. We hope it doesn't happen. And we've all done our job well to prevent rigging and everything. So I expect a fair contest.
At some point of the campaign, it got a bit hotter and tighter. After this polls, if you emerge as victorious or otherwise, what is the assurance that the party would be able to come back together, form a unified front, and then go into battle in 2028?
I don't think it's an issue because we're all going to come together as one party and work. So there shouldn't be a problem at all. And you should, as for contest, you should expect that sometimes it gets very tough and certain words are used which are not palatable, but hey, you have to take it as it is. And that doesn't mean you should go out of the party. So I hope if I'm the winner, I will be able to bring the party together.
Some delegates are done voting, others are yet to. What would be your message, particularly to those who are yet to hit the voting centers?
Well, all I'll say, they should vote number one. And with what I've seen here, I hope it's everywhere. So far, so good. I don't expect any violence. I mean, if you look at the number of police here and everything, yeah, we're praying. We're praying.
Indeed, we are praying. But indeed, we are praying.
Kennedy Ohine Japan there with Akwesi. Yeah, it was a good spot to have him there at the right time, coming to vote, sound relaxed, process looking good, and also knowing the need for unity in a political party afterwards. So, sounds quite a good conversation. I should say
that has been the concern of many party members and party supporters. The need to be united as a party going to election 2028? Because a lot of them believe, and on Eyewitness News, I think on Thursday, I asked the national organizer Nana B the same question, that can the party, unite going to election 2028 because of the kind of campaign the various aspirants, have embarked upon, the kind of words they've used on each other.
It depends on what the winner does, whoever wins, and the way and it's not just for NPP. What the winner does is critical for how the party gets united, and also critical for how the country sees the party.
Okay.
So the whoever wins has a big job in relation to, for example, how do you address Ghanaians around what happened in 2024? Are you going to be in denial? Are you going to tell Ghanaians the truth? Are you going, because Ghanaians are watching the MPP, because you and I know this is very early in the year, and so if they get their act right and they choose the right candidate, and the candidate also faces Ghanaians squarely with a certain sense of respect, maybe that may change their fortunes. Who knows? But it's very interesting early days.
From Kenya, Japan in the central region, let's come back here in Accra and to the Tema East constituency. Mano Ayama is our correspondent there, or our reporter there. Let's speak to you and get a general picture of the situation. Mano, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. You're in the Tema East constituency. Tell us what's happening.
Good morning, Sammy. So, I'm currently here at the Tema East. Voting started exactly 7. Materials arrived on time, and exactly 7. The process began. About 1,200 delegates are expected to vote. But away from that, one issue worth noting here is vote buying, reportedly. Yes. So there's the camp of Brian, there's the camp of Ken, there's the camp of Baumia. Some delegates say they would not cast their vote if not being provided with money. Others have already received their money, but for others, they haven't yet received yet. And others are also complaining of some individuals not wanting to give the money that they've received from some executives to them. And so basically, many have crowded here at the entrance saying they wouldn't vote if not being provided with money. So basically, that is how things
these are just mere allegations. That they are just alleging that
these are just mere allegations. Yes.
Aside the money issue, voting has started, right?
Yes, voting has started.
And how's the security arrangement?
So when it comes to security is top notch here. The police is available. They are ensuring that security protocols are all observed, and so security here is smooth.
Mano, thank you very much for your time. Mano Ayama speaking to us from the Tema East constituency here in the Greater Accra region, where voting is underway. Just some few allegations about money sharing and the like, but these are just mere allegations. I
think constituents, so delegates have gotten used to being given transportation.
Yeah.
So some are insisting, because also don't forget there were rumors that this person will give this person will give that. So when the person comes and what he's getting is not up to what he was told, then trouble comes. So it's going to be very interesting what happens in the next few moments in that particular area.
Live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries coming to you live from our studio here, Citi 97.3 FM. We are live on TV as well, Channel 1 television. Live pictures from the various voting centers. In a short time, we'll go to the Kankwe South constituency because we understand there's tension at the Prince of Peace International School, where we are told that delegates have been prevented from entering the voting premises. The reason we'll find out shortly. We are told that over 1,065 delegates of the NPP are expected to vote in that constituency. Let's go to the phone line and speak to Gabby Ofe. He's our reporter there to tell us what really is happening. Gabby, thank you very much for your time. We understand that the premises has been locked. Delegates have not been allowed to enter the premises to cast their ballot. What's the general situation?
Well, Sammy, thank you. So as I speak, the situation is different now. So party delegates have been allowed to enter, but you still have to go through the checks with the Ghana Police Service to make sure that you have really a party delegate and part of the 1,069 who are to cast their ballot today. So initially when I got here, that was a little misunderstanding between the delegates and the police. But when I spoke to the officer for this particular constituency, he gave some clarity to that some people were alleging that they were delegates, so they needed to do that to ensure that they have the right people entering the premises to cast their ballot. So that's the situation as I speak.
But if they are delegates, the party gave out, some modalities as to how to identify who is a delegate. They didn't show any of these ID cards, the Ghana cards, the party, card or passport or any identification. Yeah,
so I think that's the confusion that ensued initially, because you have two checks at the Prince of Peace International School. There is one check at the main entrance, and there's a second check at second entrance. That's where you have they check in the ID cards to make sure that you're a party delegate and you have to cast your ballot here. In fact, he mentioned that they are doing this because some people actually do not know where they have to cast it. Some are coming from the other constituencies in Okankwe North and Central, so they have to make sure that it's only people who are based in Okankwe South that are present here to cast their ballot. That's why they have doubled up the checks. That you have two checks, so one right at the front of the gate and then there's one in the middle. Then you can then join the line and cast your ballot.
And out of the 1,069 delegates, the number voted so far?
Well, the number voted so far, I cannot really put out that. I would have to check on that because it's increased. When I entered here, the voting had not started. In fact, voting delayed. It didn't start at exactly 7. And so I would have to check. But I think that from the last 30 or 45 minutes, things have been way more different. So we'll get that update in our subsequent talks.
What about security?
Well, security, I think, has been on point. The police are making sure that they are doing their job. Well, party agents understand where they are supposed to stand so that they don't interfere with the whole process and all of that. The media have also been spoken to make sure that they are covering everything when getting the information right. So I think that apart from that little misunderstanding between some party delegates and the Ghana police, everything is on point, Tommy.
Thank you very much for your time. Gabby Ofe, a colleague here at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, bringing us up updates from the Okankwe South constituency. But generally it's been peaceful. Generally.
As I say, these things are normal when elections are happening, a few misunderstandings here and there. And usually they would want to talk to the media to say, hey guys, people are not allowing us to get in. But, I like what I'm hearing around police presence, collaborating with the EC, and basically making sure that if you don't have any business there, you don't go in there. So far, so good. And it seems as if for most places, voting is moving pretty fast. Yeah. So, but by the way, if you're a delegate of a party, unless you have to travel, most of them would be there by now. And it's almost 8, it's 8:21. So, you would even have a sense of who's supposed to come. Unlike a national election where people would wait and say, let me come at 2 o'clock because the queue will be long in the morning and let me wait and that kind of thing. You can see that people have moved to a lot of the centers and they are voting. So we expect a quick, smooth process.
Let's go to the Volta region, Bernard, and speak to our correspondent, Desmond Salasiago, to give us an update. Desmond, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. Where do you find yourself and what can you report?
Good morning, Sammy. I'm currently at the Ola Senior High School here in the Whole Central constituency. In the Volta region, we are expecting 12,589 delegates to cast their votes today. And also here at the Ola Senior High School in Ho here, we are expecting 1,399 persons to delegates to come here to cast their votes. Voting started here at exactly 7 a.m. We've seen some mass turnouts of delegates here and some party faithfuls also here. Although we are not seeing any party colors around, you can see most of them in a nice or a celebrating mood. Although results are not being declared, we just started voting a few minutes ago. But people are happy. People are moving around peacefully. The security is also tight here. I can count about 50 or more security personnel here at the center. Earlier on, the former Volta Regional Minister, Kofi Jamesu, and also the former Chitansi and Religious Affairs Minister came to cast his vote here at the Ola Senior High School Center. According to him, the process is smooth. He commended the security personnel here for their outstanding work they are doing. He also commended the EC and also says he's expectant that his preferred candidate will, at the end of the day, be declared the winner in this contest. Also, the Home Municipal Chief Executive, the former Home Municipal Chief Executive, Divine Boston, just cast his vote and left here a few minutes ago. He's also saying he's expecting his preferred candidate to be declared the winner at the end of the day. Speaking to some of the delegates also, they are all hopeful that their preferred candidates will, at the end of the day, be declared winner.
Apart from the whole central constituency, what other reports are you getting for the other constituencies in the Volta region?
All right, so in the OT region, we have 5,495 delegates who are expected to cast their vote. As we speak now, some constituencies in the OT region have also begun the voting. Reports reaching me now indicates that in the Karachi East and Karachi West, voting has begun smoothly. Everything is going on peacefully. I'm yet to receive information from some of the other constituencies. But here in the Volta region also, in the Ketu South municipality, voting has begun peacefully. In the Angologa district as well, voting has begun peacefully. So in all, voting has begun in all of these constituencies, but we are just expecting that at the end of the day, everything will move smoothly as it has begun here.
Salasi, thank you very much for your time. Salasi Ago is our correspondent from the Volta region, bringing us up to speed on the situation in the region. Especially, he's in the whole central constituency, but he says that across the Volta region, the voting has been peaceful and the process is smooth. Let's go to the Ashanti region. I speak to our Middle Belt Bureau Chief Hafiz Tijani. Hafiz, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. All eyes on the Ashanti region. What can you report?
Well, so voting has started in all the voting centers we have visited this morning. So we're just leaving the Ashanti constituency where we have about 1,100 delegates who are coming in to vote. Some of them have voted already. So the police officers there are just enforcing the security protocols, ensuring that the voters go strictly by the security briefings that has been arranged or that has been given. So when you vote and you don't have any business at the voting center again, you have to leave and maybe wait or hang around or go and then come back and observe the counting and also the other processes that will follow. But so far, voting has started. The Electoral Commission officers have made sure that they abided by the time and ensuring that they brought all the materials at most of the centers. A while ago, we saw the Ashanti Regional Director of the Electoral Commission who has been touring the areas, trying to engage with officers who have been deployed to supervise this election. She has also been engaging with them to find out if there's any issue that needs to be addressed. So far, we have been speaking to them. She says that there's not been any issue. They have ensured that all the officers who have been deployed were prepared for this day, and the security officers are also helping the Electoral Commission officers to do their work. So in most of the areas, you find out that most of the centers, because the numbers are huge, like the Akwasi constituency, for instance, we have about 1,100. So the centers have been split into two, and the delegates are expected to come in and go to the various centers to vote, so the process can be very quick. And the security officers have also ensured that they cordon off the inner perimeter of the voting center, so that if you don't have any business, if you are not coming in to vote or you are not an officer of the Electoral Commission, you are not supposed to go beyond the areas that have been cordoned off. Even with the cordon off areas within, they have erected barricades, police barricades, to ensure that no one goes beyond the red line.
And aside these arrangements, what other information are you getting from the other constituencies in the Ashanti region as far as the voting is concerned?
Well, so voting has been smooth so far. Most of all the delegates are comporting themselves, trying to go through the process because of the party's leadership, the kind of briefings and the kind of caution they have issued to their party members. But we go to the St. Anne's voting center in the Menchia South constituency, where we are told that the regional executives and other elders of the party will be voting.
Hafiz Bernard here. So we noticed a lot of the candidates took Ashanti very seriously. The Ashanti has the second largest number of voters. Is the turnout for now, or the number of people coming to vote, does it justify the kind of attention the region was getting in the lead up to the election itself?
Well, exactly so. You know, voters have their own way of thinking. Some would want to come early and vote and go back to their various workplaces. Others will want to wait till the 11th hour before they will come in and vote. But when you look at the turnout so far, it's encouraging. People are coming in their numbers at most of the centers to vote. And like you mentioned, Ashanti region was taken very seriously by all the candidates coming in, crisscrossing constituencies, all the 47 constituencies, to campaign and also deliver their messages to the delegates before today. And this region that has been seen as the stronghold of the party. So people are really putting some emotional touch to the voting, because they know the importance of today. They know the justification the party wants to send out to Ghanaians in terms of the 2028 general election. And Ashanti region will always play that role in ensuring that they decide who is going to lead the party, and they also contribute heavily when it comes to the national election.
Finally, you said Asamasi was one of the larger constituencies. Which are the largest ones in the region in terms of numbers of delegates for today's election?
So we are looking at Bantama, we are looking at the Menchia South, we are looking at...
Hello, Hafiz. We are told we don't have Hafiz on the telephone line there. We'll try and raise Hafiz again and speak to him on the situation in the Ashanti region. But generally, the picture is that voting is ongoing in all the 34, all the constituencies in the Ashanti region. Been peaceful so far. He was in the Asawase constituency, divided into two voting centers because of the huge number of delegates expected to vote, over 1,000. He's visiting other constituencies to bring us updates on the situation in the Ashanti region, the stronghold of the New Patriotic Party. Let's go back to Hafiz Tijani. He was speaking before the line dropped. Hafiz, as you were saying before the line dropped. Hello, Hafiz. Hello.
So he had mentioned, I was asking him, I just wanted to get a sense of which of the constituencies were the largest. He says Bantama, Menchia South. Hafiz, if you are back on the line, you can continue.
I'm told Hafiz is not. Hello, Hafiz, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so you were speaking before the line dropped.
So Bernard asked about some of the largest constituencies in terms of numbers, and I was just going through. So the Bantama constituency, the Ediso constituency, the Asqa constituency, and Ishaitu constituency. And one key thing that is playing out in the Ishaitu constituency, the Member of Parliament, Stephen Amwa, popularly called Sika, is one of the frontliners in terms of the campaign of Kennedy at Japan, and people are also looking very closely through the crystal ball within the constituency, the Shiite constituency, because that is one of the heaviest constituencies or one of the heaviest constituencies when it comes to the
on that point
in the Ashanti region. And
on that point, Hafiz,
the Member of Parliament is one person who has been so vocal when it comes to the campaign of Kennedy at Japan, but other delegates also have a different view of his choice or his position. They are also for the other contender.
Hafiz, if you can you hear me, Hafiz?
So it's one constituency that people are watching so closely.
Hafiz, do the members of parliament have any role in the election? And what about the constituency chairman? Because the election is organized by the EC and the party. So, for example, does the MP play any role on the day, or it just comes to vote and go? What about the constituency chairman and executive? Do they have any role in the constituency during the voting day, or is just the EC managing everything throughout?
Well, so because everything has been structured within the national space of the party, the officers here, the local officers, in terms of the constituency officers, do not have that role. Even if they have that role to play today, they will have the coordinating role to kind of coordinate the delegates, ensure that they come and then partake in this exercise. But for influence, I would say because members of parliament are somewhat role models in the constituency or in the party, some might toe their line in terms of getting to their side. And even before today, they might have engaged some of the delegates to try to convince them to toe that line of their thinking. But for influence in today's election, I doubt if people, maybe the floating voters, are going to yield to that pressure or that engagement.
Thank you, Hafiz. Thank you so much for your work. We'll come back to you as the day unfolds.
From the Ashanti region, let's go to the Bono region and speak to our correspondent Michael Sapon-Yifum to give us an update in the region. Mike, good evening, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. Where do you find yourself, and what can you report?
Thank you very much, Sammy. I'm currently at the Pastoral Center here in Sunyani. That is in the Sunyani East constituency. At this polling station, 891 delegates are expected to take part in today's exercise. At exactly 7 a.m., the first person voted, and as we speak, delegates are still in the queue, waiting for their turns to cast their vote. Security-wise, it's on top. Could count close to 70 police personnel who are here to protect lives and property here. So generally, it has been peaceful at the Pastoral Center here in Sunyani East constituency. I've seen the former Member of Parliament for Sunyani East, Kwesi Abayachemi, is also around, and some of the party leaders are also around to take part in the exercise. So, Sami, Pastoral Center, very peaceful. Police are in their numbers here, and everything is moving on smoothly here.
What other reports are you getting from the other constituencies?
Yes, I'm told everything is moving on smoothly. The rest of the 11 constituencies within the Bono region. The region currently, though there are 12 constituencies, but the polling stations are 13, because Sunyani West, there are 2 polling stations within the Sunyani West constituency. So everything has been peaceful so far as I monitor from other constituencies within the Bono region. Sammy.
Mike, thank you very much for your time. Michael Sapon from reporting from the Bono region. It's been peaceful so far and as reported across the country. We've been to the Ashanti region, here in the Greater Accra region. We've been to the Western region, the Central region, the Ashanti region, and the Bono region. We'll touch base with our correspondent in the Eastern region as well as the Savannah, the Upper East, and the Upper West regions, to give you a general feel of the elections in these regions. 97.3 Citi FM, a live coverage of the NPP presidential primary. 5 individuals: Kennedy Ohine Japan, Dr. Brian Echampon, Dr. Mama Debomia, Dr. Ya Osei Educhum, and Engineer Kwabneje Japan. Who will be the NPP's next flag bearer? Who will lead the NPP going to election 2028? Latest by 3 p.m. we will know who that candidate will be. Let's go to the Okankwe Central Constituency, where the Member of Parliament for the area, Patrick Yabuama, spoke to journalists after voting this morning.
I did cast my vote, and asking delegates across the country, including my constituency, Okankwe Central, to go about the process peacefully. And we know that the process will be very peaceful, the outcome will be peaceful, and we request each and every member of the party to respect the verdict of the delegates, so that we come out united after this process and put forward a formidable strategy to convince good people of this country to return us to power come 2028. That's the goal of the New Patriotic Party.
Patrick Yabuama is a Member of Parliament for the Okankwe Central Constituency. Now Toshi, who is a former Member of Parliament for the Tema West Constituency, and a key member of the Kennedy Ohine Japan campaign team, is speaking to our correspondent Fauzu Masaudu on how the process has been so far from the Tema West Constituency.
And there's been a former MP before me, or after me, Carlos has also been, yes. Exactly. And I haven't done too much work in Tema West, so I can't say that. But what I can say is that the delegates know the ground. They know who people are asking for. They know all the contestants. Whoever they choose is okay by me.
Okay, Honorable, before you go, just a quick one. There's been claims out there that you are a possible candidate of running mate for Kennedy Japan should he win this presidential primary. Is that the case?
Well, like you said, possible. And I don't know. We haven't discussed that. But if I am, what do you think?
No, you tell me.
Or what do you think?
So if you were offered the job of running mate for Kennedy Japan, should he win this presidential primary, would you accept it?
If my people think I'm capable, it's not just going to be about me. It's going to be about my constituency that I've led, the whole of the NPP, and other influential people. If they think I'm capable, because you never know your strength, but if they think I'm capable, I think I'm ready to serve the country, and I'll give up my life for the country.
For the New Patriotic Party, what will be a successful presidential primary for you at the end of the day?
No fighting. The process being as smooth as it is now. We elect our presidential candidate. He brings all of us together. We're ready to go.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Irene Toshi Ado. Yes, so
Irene Toshi Ado, a key member of the Kennedy Ohine Japan campaign team former member of parliament for the Tema West constituency, a former administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund, and a former Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. Speaking to colleague Fauzi Masaudu. .3 Citi FM. Live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries to elect a flag bearer who will lead the party going to election 2028. Let's go to the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency. And the former member of parliament for the area, Lydia Seria Malasa, spoke to Citi News after voting in the constituency.
It's been good so far, as you can see. Very conducive environment. We are all happy. We are all those who campaign for their candidates are still doing it, although we are not supposed to. But you can see everything is going on smoothly. The security is here. We have the police, and they're also doing their work. So far, so very good. And at the end of the day, my constituents have made this firm promise to me that they have listened to what the grounds is saying. They have gone round also across the country, those of them who travel, and across the length and breadth of this country, everyone is saying that number 3, Dr. Bawumia, is their choice. And they are going to do just that for Dr. Bawumia, just that for Ghana. That is what we need at this point in time. We also need unity. Those who are not winning, it doesn't mean it's the end of the thing for them. We are all one people, we are all one party, and at the end of the day, it's NPP party that will emerge victorious. The process will be smooth, everything will go on smoothly. Inshallah. Exactly what they have. That is assurance they have given to me, and I trust my people. It will happen.
Lydia Seria Malasa, the former member of parliament for the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency, speaking to a journalist after voting in the NPP presidential primary. Let's go to the Anya Sotum constituency, also here in the Greater Accra region. And we'll speak to our colleague Nila Telate, who is currently in the constituency, to be precise, the Odogono Senior High School, where the voting is taking place. To bring us an update, Nila Telate joins us on the telephone line. Thank you very much and good morning. What can you report from the Anya Sotum constituency?
All right, thank you very much, Samiri Afi. Good morning to you and good morning to our cherished listeners. And so, as we speak, I am at the Maranatha University College, where the NPP presidential primary elections for the Anya Sotum constituency is currently underway. What I can tell you is that it is a serene environment. Voting is proceeding smoothly. No form of confusion has so far occurred here at the center. we are expecting some 1,493 delegates to exercise their franchise here at this particular center. And so if you come to the center, it has been divided into 2 polling stations, polling center A, polling center B. Polling center A, where we expect the current member of parliament for the constituency as well as the former member of parliament for the constituency, some members of the council of elders, constituency executives as well as electoral area heads and SESCON executives voting at Center A. When you go to Center B, that's where we have all the electoral areas, other delegates from the electoral areas, talk of Santa Maria, talk of Antieku, Sotum itself, Lomnavani, Okai, both east and west as well as Pashibu. And so over 700, delegates each for Center A and Center B. So that's what is currently happening. We've seen the current member of parliament, that's Honorable Emmanuel Tobin, interacting with some of the, delegates. We've seen the former member of parliament as well, Dr. Dixon Adumakukiti. He just arrived here. He's currently in the queue to vote. And so, Samir Rafi, I can say that everything is calm here at the Maranatha University College. Electoral officers are also optimistic that the voting will continue smoothly, and at the end of the day at 2 p.m., it will be a wrap here at the center.
The former member of parliament for the area, as you mentioned, Dr. Dixon, is a key member of the Brian the Champion campaign team, and this is his constituency. You think his presence there will help the Brian campaign in any way?
Exactly. If he's a member of the campaign team, exactly, he's going to help Brian the Champion in that regard. But as I mentioned, he's currently in the queue. He says that he's going to speak to the media right after he casts his ballot. And so we'll be speaking to him after he's done with the exercise for us to know exactly what he thinks is likely to happen at the end of the post and what it means for the Brian A. Champion team.
Thank you very much,
But I must also indicate that when we spoke to the current member of parliament for the area, that's Honorable Emmanuel Tobin, he says that delegates should vote with their conscience, and so they should vote for somebody who is very likely to lead the NPP into victory come 2028.
Thank you very much, Ni Latte. Colleague here at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television. But I asked that question because it's an interesting one. Because Dixon is a key member of the Brian campaign and a former member of parliament for the constituency as well.
Yes, we have Hafiz the same question around the role of MPs and former MPs. And the truth is, majority of the voters are polling station executives. Yeah. So Dixon has 1 vote, as does every other person, of course. But they would have influence on delegates and how they think and vote. And because they are former MPs or current MPs, their organizational prowess and their relationship with the majority of delegates will play a role. So it's a huge constituency. For me, what struck me was 1,400 for just a constituency. And this is just MPP. And this is just Anyaso too. So the 40,000 voters in Accra, don't forget Accra is about 34.
Yeah, 36,000.
No, 34 constituencies and 40,000 voters for the MPP's election. What I'm trying to say is there are some very big numbers in Accra, and they would go, think about it, 1,400 voters in just Anyaso too. The whole of Ahafo is just 4,000 voters, right? So if you take Anya, so Anya is about, one fourth or 1/3 of the whole of Ahafo region. So the Greater Accra region is going to be very critical, and some of those numbers we should watch out for them, and whether there are any spreads there. That will be a very informative sort of predictor of what happens in the election as those results start trickling in.
But let me ask you this question. The members of parliament who declared support for any of the candidates, will the outcome of this election determine their political future?
I think so. I feel like some of them started backing down. Yesterday I was monitoring the DPs of a lot of the MPs. And for some, they've stuck with their endorsements. Some, you notice, they're not endorsing at all. Because if you are in a very tight constituency and you declare for one person and the person doesn't win, it would definitely affect the dynamics of the region going forward for your own primaries. So I think it's a very risky thing to do. I feel like it's an internal contest, and there's nothing wrong with endorsing a candidate. But if you are an MP, you are bringing the constituency together, you are holding it together. So I'm not even sure it's an advisable thing to do. Because, for example, if I'm the MP, all the 5 will come to the constituency and want to talk to people, and I'll have to be around. So I think the right posture is the Tobin posture. He says vote for whoever your conscience wants, and let's keep the party together. That's what I expect MPs to do. But politics is also interests and alliances. So there's nothing wrong with somebody who says, I support this guy, but you're right, he will die and live by your choices. So if the person you choose is very unpopular or does not win, that the person who wins has a choice to make. And the people who below you say, well, you represent us and you want to choose this guy, and we don't support the guy you chose. So maybe we are thinking different. So I feel like this will have a lot of implications going forward for other elections. Right. So we should keep an eye on the guys who stuck their neck out. Yeah.
Let's go to the Savannah region now and speak to Malik Gazari. He's our correspondent in that region. Malik, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. What can you report from the Savannah region?
Yes, Savannah region. I'm currently at the Damango constituency, and the voting is currently happening at the Damango police station. And a total of 545 delegates are expected to vote today to elect the flag bearer for the new patriotic party.
And how has the process been so far?
Come again.
How has the process been so far?
Yes, the process has been cool and calm. The Savannah Regional Chairman just voted, and he also advised the agents of the various candidates to cooperate with the officers and also cooperate with security officers. And also he also thanked the media for always being behind the good reportage of the country, and most especially in Savannah region. That throughout the campaign season, that they haven't heard any bad reportage from the media, and also painting the party or any candidate black against each other within Savannah region.
Apart from the Damango constituency where you are, what other reports do you have from the other constituencies?
Yes, at Sola, the total number of delegates who are supposed to vote in Sola is 676, and Bole is 656. We have Yapeko being the largest, is 943. Gaboya Mankarogo 437. Salga North being the lowest and determined as the last born of the region, being 298. Salga South has 666, a total of 4,230 delegates are expected to vote, and delegates are 75, and members who have forfeit their membership are 7. So meaning 75 and 7, almost 80 something will not be voting in this year's presidential primary.
Malik, thank you very much for your time. Malik Gazari is our correspondent from the Savannah region, bringing us updates from the Damango constituency and the other constituencies in the region. A live coverage of the NPP presidential primaries on Citi 97.3 FM. My name is Sami Wiafe, and I'm here with Bernard Koku-Avle. Bernard, so far so good.
I think it's been a good morning so far, and we've gotten a sense of how voting is done. We've been to the Savannah region, Northeast region. We've been to the Northern region. We've done Ashanti. We've done a lot of Greater Accra. We've done Western and Central. We've done Bono. So I suspect we've covered the whole country. We haven't done Upper East or West.
Yes, Upper East and Upper West.
We'll probably do that in the next round. For me, what will be the key question for the next hour is the process flow. So between 9 o'clock, 10, 11, 12, we would like to know whether the queues are moving quickly, so that by midday we'll know if the 2 o'clock threshold, more people would have voted. And then the whole point around counting them becomes a different issue from 2. From what the party is planning, they expect to know the results by 3:30.
Bernard, sorry to cut you. Let's go to the party headquarters now, because the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong-Kodia, is speaking to our colleague Hansen Ajiman.
How the NPP has been set up. We believe in internal contest. We believe in competition. And in Ghana, history can never be mentioned, particularly under the Fourth Republic, without recalling the New Patriotic Party. This is something that we have been doing since 1992. And we are expecting that by the close of polls today and subsequent declaration of the results, the victor will be the New Patriotic Party. And I will use this opportunity to commend the Electoral Commission and also commend the Ghana Police Service. They have so far done a yeoman's job. Everything is going on orderly and smoothly. And that is what we expect. That internal contest, if we all had one mindset, there wouldn't have been any contest. We would have had what we refer to as acclamation. But because we have different preferences, that is why we are where we are now. But at the end of the day, the rank and file of our party must understand that the winner will be the New Patriotic Party. And just as I indicated during the sign of the peace path, I told the aspirants that whoever emerges as the winner, so Mutu cannot win the 2020 elections alone. The person needs the collaborative effort, the commitment of other stakeholders for us to work together with commitment, love and unity before we can win the elections in 2028.
What is the monitoring mechanism from your end with respect to the other voting centers?
Well, so far we've set up our own internal situation room at the party headquarters, and we are getting reports from all the polling stations, and where there are challenges there, we are in close contact with the Electoral Commission and all key stakeholders to address them as and when they come.
Have you received reports of any queuing challenges in areas like Dom-Kwabenya?
Yes, but there shouldn't have been any issues there, because there was an agreement that where the voting population exceeds 500, then there's a need to create additional voting center. So if they adhere to that directive, we shouldn't have any queues in any of the constituencies.
At the moment, what are you going to do in areas where we are picking reports of these queuing challenges?
Well, so because of how we have set the reporting structure, we have to deal with the Electoral Commission. And the Electoral Commission will in turn communicate to their subordinate at the various regions and constituencies. So therefore, whenever issues come up, we liaise with the stakeholders and solutions are found.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Justin Frimpong-Kodia, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, speaking to Hansen Ajiman. It's 9 a.m. And Big Issue is up next. The big issue is up next. The big issue is up next.
With the big man.
With the big man, Umaru Sanda Amadou.
He's on till midday, and then after that we'll be back with more, because that would then be 2 hours to poll closing. So Umaru Sanda will be following the election. So the big issue this morning, we'll be discussing 2 issues. Of course, the NPP primaries is big on there, and they also will discuss the NDC's own modalities for the internal election. So Umaru and his panel will still be going around the country taking reports. He will do that till 12. We'll be back here after that to see if we can start bringing you the last 2 hours of polls on radio, whilst the TV team also continues. So stay with 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Bernard, and Sami Yafi has been the main man in the hot seat.
So we'll come your way again after 12. We'll say bye-bye for now.
Voter register, where they are asked to go through the delegates list. By going through the delegate list with an ID card, preferably, your